Okay, we're working on a 1997 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme SL. And we're moving right along with the intake manifold now. I did take it off again. I did not have to cut any wires. It turned out the wire that I thought was going to have to come up through here goes back through there, okay? And that's not really sure what it does. I don't think it's oil pressure, but anyway. Get some more light. Then the other one didn't come up through there either. It goes down and over here, down in there. Alright. Now I know that's the one for coolant, because when I was having trouble, I made the mistake of disconnecting it. Because I thought things were going to be okay according to my, I had a thermometer. One of them kind of shoot beam things, and the engine didn't read as hot as what my gauge said, so I thought maybe it was faulty. But my test run proved me wrong. That's when the engine cooked. So anyway, that could be actually another oil pressure. I know or that could be the oil pressure. And there's your tag that says Mexico. And the transmission's from Canada, but they're both under warranty through O'Reilly's. Got that piece on. I believe that's mass airflow. It is connected to the vacuum. I'd have to look it up to tell you the truth. But it is connected to engine vacuum, and it looks like other sensors I've seen in the past. I just set my coil pack on for tonight. As you can see, I got a lot more wiring to do. That has to do with the coil pack, but that's only 3 plugs and the alternator. So we still got power steering pump, which will go about right there, and alternator goes right there, and then the serpentine belt. Oh, man. Anyway, the reason I wanted to get the intake manifold on was to keep anything from dropping into the top of the engine while I was working on it. So I tried to get that done first, but as you can see, it took a lot of plumbing. Okay, what that does, I'm not exactly sure. I just tagged it as intake. That could be for the feed for the cruise control. Anyway, I still got quite a bit to go, but what I found out tonight is the transmission does have a vacuum connection that goes from here up to the intake right there. I found that in the trunk, and it was well marked, so there you go. I had to make a new hose here with an elbow in it so it would fit up to my aftermarket. The original didn't need an elbow. Well, hopefully you've been watching all along, because as you see, sometimes I make mistakes as we go, but eventually I'll get it all figured out before I turn the key. The engine itself has been primed, run the pump with the drill bit, and I cranked the starter until I showed greater than 30 psi oil pressure on a gauge. So the engine is primed, the oil's ready, so there's no holding back on the starting procedure. It's ready to go. So I plan on firing it up without putting the wheels back on or even worrying about the brakes yet, because I want to run the transmission through the gears and get the transmission full before I hit the road. So this will actually serve as a test bench, the way I got it set up here. I've been doing a few of these and I'm learning something. But either way, if you drive around the yard and do it, that's fine too. But what I found is, if you fill up a transmission to the specifics, or whatever it says in your book, and then fire it up, it almost always ends up shooting like at least 2 quarts of transmission fluid on the ground. It can go through the overflow or up through the dipstick tube or something like that, and you'll have to add it again later. Plus you make a big mess. So that's not the way to do it. And another thing I've realized now is, on adjusting your linkage, almost every book says put it in neutral. I found that it always turns out wrong when I put it in neutral. What you want to do is put it in park and put the transmission in park and make your adjustment at that point. Plus it's easier because I find when you do it in neutral, things move around a lot. But when you do it in park, everything stays nice and still, and you can get it tightened down where you need it easily. That's just what I've found out, and I've installed many transmissions now, so that's what I recommend. Put it in park. Alright, that's it for tonight. This is John Rudy with Rudy Racing, signing off.